Hey,
Hey, we're live now.
it works out.
Is it working?
Hello, internet. It's on.
It's on. Okay. It doesn't show actually like a timer button, but whatever.
Me,
okay.
it says live, and I'm gonna go.
It says live there. Okay. So welcome everybody to the very first inaugural episode of the Not So Special podcast, starring yours truly, Josh. And today I have a very special guest, known to many YouTubers and internet folk alike, Console Kev.
All four internet folk who know me.
The infamous Console Kev.
Go ahead.
So thanks for being here, Console Kev.
So, how's it going?
I'll probably just call you Kev because Console Kev is a lot to say.
Yeah, that's my birth name, so I'd go with that.
Fair enough. So why don't we start by just why don't you let people know who you are, what you do?
So I do this thing on the internet where, in a long story short, I wanted to make videos on the internet, but I'm like, but I don't want to waste my video game time editing videos and stuff. I do now, but I do a lot of I wouldn't call it a Let's Play channel. It's literally a random gameplay channel where I'm playing Darksiders today. If you want to watch it, go ahead. Don't use me as a guide because I started 12 hours in. So I just make gameplay videos. I drag my friends into it and add little quips in there to make the videos not so boring. Watch it if you want. I wouldn't, but it's all good.
Fair enough. So you're kind of like a Let's Play channel that's not a guide
Let's play light, let's call it.
Play light. Okay.
Yeah, that's a way to put it. I'm going to use that now.
LPL?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Cool. LPL. You heard it here first.
I'm going to rebrand, go back and change all my thumbnails to that now. Thank you.
So cool. So when did you actually start YouTube channeling things? How long have you been going?
I remember once I graduated high school, I was I had this weird mindset of I do sports so nobody thinks I'm a nerd. And I had this channel called Underground Gamer 203 for reasons. And remember when flip cameras were a thing? They had the little switchblade. Yeah, I was using one of those. And I was recording iPod Touch games. And I was like, this sucks. Why am I doing this? So I started that, and then once I learned what I was doing, I bought a capture card. I was like, if I make full reviews, that takes too long. I just want I like playing games and enjoying how I react to games. So that's what this channel is going to be. And I started doing that maybe 2 years ago, and it's fun so far. It's mostly therapeutic for me more than anything. So I just like doing it for myself.
And that's the best kind of content to make, right? Stuff you want to watch, and then if other people want to join in, then.
Yeah, and actually what's even weirder is once I got into a bunch of Facebook groups, I remember seeing your face there, and I was like, I watch Game Hunters R Us. He's a person like me. And I was like,
I'm a real person.
I know. I kind of know him somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, because we were. Yeah, you used to comment on all our Game Hunters RS videos.
Yeah.
A lot of just comments that just said hi.
I don't know why I did that. I was like, he's famous. Hi. Everyone on the internet's famous to me before I started doing things.
I guess that's what you can call it. Internet famous.
They're all internet famous.
Yeah, because that's you had the old the Dr. Doom logo, and then that's how I remember Console Kev, and then this new Console Kev. I don't know who you are anymore, but
it's the same thing. I was working at a game store, and that mask came in, and I showed a picture to my boss. It was like, all right, you have to serve the whole game store that day with that mask. And I was like, don't dare me, I'll do this. And for 6 hours in that hot sweat, it's a metal mask, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
It weighed 5 pounds. And it was just like, I'm Dr. Doom. And I would yell at everyone that came in. It might have been an issue.
Oh, man.
That might be weird.
That sounds like fun. No, I could see I've had bosses that would make me do stupid things too. I'm not going to talk about them, but they're not near as fun as that.
I need an adult now after I talk about them. What you been up to?
Life has been busy. Newborn in the family, so that takes up a lot of time.
No game time now?
No game time. Yeah, if I thought I didn't have enough time to play games before, now it's just there's hardly any.
This collection is just something I wish one day to be a thing.
See, all of these games, one day I will play them, but not
Look
the
at
next
those
year or
boxes,
two.
Daddy. Well, legend says they once played video games. I no longer heard those words anymore.
Maybe one day you will see them. But yeah, I've been mostly been watching a lot of movies and TV shows. So yeah, that's been my life. I watched John Wick 2 last night.
Is that any good? I've never heard of the first one. It just 2 came out of nowhere.
Really? You didn't hear about the first one?
Not once.
Really? No, it's good. It's a good like throwback to the like more action, less story nonsense of like the 90s. But just better action, I guess you could say. More realistic action.
Is it like, I want to compare it to Transporter whenever I see like a commercial for it, and I just think of the Jason Statham movies.
Yeah, basically. If you think of it like that, but just like Hitman, instead of him just trying to get away from things, it's like Jason Statham on a mission to kill everyone.
That's every Jason Statham movie.
Yes, but just with Keanu Reeves.
I'm into that. I can watch that.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good. I mean, if you just want to waste some time and watch some fun action, then yeah, it's a good way to go.
Problem is, if I have like such a weird ADD where if there's no story to a movie, I'll lose interest. Like what was the Transformers with Mark Wahlberg, or not Mark Wahlberg? The Shia LaBeouf one that didn't have Megan Fox. Like it was a third in the series, so I just went and I was like, let's see if it's good.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, this makes no sense. There's just explosions everywhere. Why does that girl not have any dirt on her? There's explosions going on. Like everyone's covered in like soot and ash, but like she's immaculate. I'm like, this makes no sense. This movie sucks.
Well, John Wick makes more sense than that. I'll give it that much credit. The Transformers movies, I watched the first 2. The third one I tried to watch again, same as you, just lost interest, and then I haven't seen any of the other ones since. So, but at least the John Wick ones will hold your interest.
Give it a shot then. I'll take your recommendation.
It's a fun like 2 hours to kill if you just, and you don't have to pay a lot of attention, right? Like the general idea, this is what's happening, and you just watch Keanu Reeves kill people. Really cool.
That's exactly what I want out of a movie, actually.
Exactly. What else have I been watching? So with my job, I'm driving around a lot, so I take my phone with me, and I have a bunch of movies on there. So when I take like a lunch break, or just take a 10-15 minute break here and there, I'll pop a movie on. So I've been watching a bunch of stuff that way. Just finished watching Fist Fight. That one with like,
I really want to see that.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funty.
I almost saw a scene of it where the girl's like on stage dancing and like singing that Big Sean song. I was just like,
yeah. That was the part. I didn't even see that part. I didn't know that part existed, and I literally busted out laughing. So
I want to see that movie so bad.
It's actually pretty funny. And I watched Allied, the one with Brad Pitt. And he's married to a French spy. He worked with her in, I guess, in North Africa, Algeria, something like that. Anyways, then they come back to Britain, and then he's British intelligence basically says that she's working for the Germans, and they've been married for like 5 years. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, your wife's a spy. We need to test it, and it's just kind of.
Your wife's a spy. I don't know if you knew this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're not sure. They just accused her of being a spy.
It's a pretty cool accusation to be like, yes, I am. I am a spy.
So it's definitely, it's not an action movie. There's some action bits in it, but I don't know. It was still pretty good. It's a one-time watch. You kind of see it, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool, and then you're done with it. So
I'll watch it. There's just it's all my friends make fun of me for not watching movies, but if I'm home, like I have all these games I want to play. Like if I have to choose one or the other, like I want to do that. Yeah,
exactly. And I wish I had the kind of motivation that you do to sit down and play all the games.
I schedule my life around it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm seeing Tina at this time. I have jiu-jitsu this day. I have work. Oh yeah, I have to go to work. I'm like, okay, there's a 1 hour block I can play today. Like, everyone leave me alone. Like on my weekends, if anyone bothers me, I will kill you.
And I'm kind of the opposite. Like I'll work 10-hour days, and then I'll come back and I'll deal with family stuff, and then by the time like everyone goes to bed, I'm like, well, I could play a game for an hour or two, but I'm like, I'm so tired, I just want to sit and watch something, just kind of veg out for a bit. So that's kind of taken over my main form of entertainment, as much as I would love to play games more.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with like modern games, is like they're so like dialogue heavy, and you have to watch a 45-minute cutscene to start the game. And by the time it starts, you're like, and bedtime, all right. Like,
yeah, exactly.
it's
so
oh, that mute button's handy when I got a cough. No, it's good. I was playing Okami. I just started for like our game of the quarter, and like I wanted to get into it. And I had an hour block, but the opening is so long, and I was just like, "This is my weekend. You're killing Capcom. Like, you better hurry this up." Like,
well, that's a good segue. Why don't you tell the listeners about game clubs?
So the goal of it is to have kind of like a book club, but with video games. And it's easier said than done because it's hard to find something that everybody likes. So, you know, we have a bunch of guys who are like, oh, we want to play RPGs, but we never have RPGs or like long games. I'm like, we only have a month. How are we going to do this? So we finally gotten into this period where we have a game of the month, which right now, since it's July, it's Dead Space Extraction. And we call it the long ass game of the quarter because it's not necessarily, Okami's not really an RPG, but it's like something over 20 hours. And every 3 months we talk about that. And we try to forum, but I think we're sticking to the Facebook page, and we just discuss the game as it goes on throughout the month, our experiences of it. It's very relaxed. Like they're at the beginning, there was some stigma of like, well, we don't play the game. Are we not allowed to pick you? It's like, dude, just have fun. Like, if you want to play with us. If you don't. Very relaxed club. Nobody's a jerk in it, which is hard to find on the internet. So if you ever need some guidance in what to play, we play pretty much everything. There's no like system really limits. If you have it, you want to play with us. And if you don't, hey, there's next month. You never know, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good time.
So I'm actually part of game clubs, but I'm also part of Cartridge Club, you may have heard of.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Totally ripped them off. I'm not going to lie. I totally once me and my buddy made it, I was like, this is already a thing. Like, yeah, I wanted to get involved with both. It's just like once I started the job I'm at now, I'm like, I cannot do both. I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I like the Cartridge Club because like they have like a dedicated the two organizers basically pick out games that they think people will like based on, I guess, some community input. But the difference between Cartridge Club and game clubs is that all the games picked in game clubs are suggestions from the community itself, and it's just put into like the wheel decide random wheel spinner.
Yep.
So it's not like, you know, we've gone through the options and this is the best game. It's kind of like, here's what everyone wants to play, and we just let the randomness decide it. So
yeah, every 10th of the month we put up a big Facebook thread of like, all right, and we have like a loose theme. It's like just to give a suggestion. You don't even have to, like, if 1 month of the theme is space, you could still vote like Goof Troop and like Chip and Dale. Nobody cares. It's like, if you got a space game in mind, like, that's an idea. And on the 10th, we put it out there, and we give till the 15th. And the 15th, we spin a wheel, totally random. Although some people don't think it's random, but it's totally random. And whatever happens, happens. And we just see how it goes.
Yeah, it's cool. So I've played, we're going to stick with the game clubs, not Cartridge Club right now, but with the game clubs, I've played the Firewatch and the Jack and Daxter so far. How
did you like Firewatch? I got to know.
I'm on the fence.
I hated it. I'm gonna be honest. You don't have to hurt my feelings. Like,
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it like everyone else loved it.
I thought it was super overrated. Like,
yeah, it's definitely. I think it's one of those games I think suffered from the overrated hype. Everyone is saying how great it is and such good gameplay and such good story and blah blah blah. And then I went into it. Yeah, it was overhyped to me in that way, and I just didn't find it that interesting.
Yeah. That beginning was like, it seemed like it was going to be some super heartfelt thing. And I was like, oh my God, like, your wife's really sick. She doesn't know you anymore. And it's just like the end of the game, like, not that it's a big spoiler. It was just like, oh, it ends. I was like, well, that sucks. Like, am I going to meet this Diana person? Like, and I was talking to my buddy about it. He's like, that's the beauty of it. Like, it's just like life. Sometimes life's anticlimactic. I'm like, I don't want to live life. That's why I play games. Like,
that's why I play video games. Escapism.
I don't want them to like never meet this Diana woman. Like, I don't know. It was like super.
Yeah.
I feel bad for anyone that paid for that physical release. It's like too much. I hope you didn't overpay for yours.
I bought mine at release, so it's okay.
Oh, perfect then. Anyone that's paying like
paid
$70
regular
for
price
that
for it.
game?
Nope, didn't do that, thankfully.
Smart move.
So, the one thing I really didn't like about it is that the start of the game, like there's all these conspiracy theories. I'm gonna say spoilers, by the way. If you haven't played Firewatch, then just kind of skip ahead to like a minute or two. Everything's very conspiracy theory and very hectic and very tense. And then you think someone's chasing you. It almost starts to become interesting in like a horror kind of genre type game, and then you find out that it's just a guy living there and his son died and he didn't call the cops.
Yeah, and that was really disappointing about that, because I remember like that guy, you see that guy real quick to be like, oh, who was he? And then like nothing.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, all right, he's not gonna like try to murder you or to be like, I let my son die. Like I thought it was gonna be like some kind of interaction, but
yeah, I wanted some kind of like serial killer, like a little bit of a psycho, like something chasing me, but there was never any like I guess the music kind of made it tense, and you kind of felt like you were under pressure, but you actually never were. You can do really
which is
whatever
disappointing.
So like I said, like it's interesting, but like again, it's overhyped, and I don't think it's as good as everyone thinks it is or says it is.
That's the beauty of like a game of the month club or any kind of discussion thing. Like, because sometimes I feel like alone in my little like thoughts. Like there's like Dark Souls or Demon Souls. Well, I like Demon Souls. Like everyone says Dark Souls is like super fun, but like sometimes you feel like that one person who's like, I don't get this. But when there's something about a community like playing together and experiencing it at the same time, like you kind of all are on the same page. And like right now, I'm kind of feeling like Okabe's like super easy, but everyone says this game's like legendary and it's beautiful. I'm like, this game's kind of easy. Like it's a nice stroll in the park, I guess. But like I don't know, I'm waiting to feel like the legendary hype everyone's like telling me about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to I can only talk about the games I've played, but what were your thoughts on Jak and Daxter, seeing as we both played that? Because as far as I understand, we had two very different experiences with this game.
See, the beauty of doing a Let's Play or a gameplay channel is if you do like a review, you're like, if you review something like Mega Man, you're inclined to say Mega Man's good and like legend, because everyone feels Mega Man's good. But like when you do a gameplay, you get like the raw experience of it. Like you're not really felt like, oh, but this part was okay. Like it's everything you feel. Like Jak and Daxter, when I started, was really, really good. And I was like, this is solid platform. Like everything's nice about it. And like towards the end, it got like kind of repetitive, and I was like, oh, this snow level sucks. Like, yeah, people they remember the best parts about a game or the worst parts, and like whatever, like even if it's like a 60-40 good versus bad, they're like, oh, this game's good, but like, oh, Jak and Daxter was okay overall. I was like, I don't know if this should have gotten a sequel, but like, it was an okay game.
Yeah,
it's the $5 it goes for. I'll take it.
Fair enough. Did you play the PS2 or the PS3 remaster?
I got the PS3 version like maybe 2 Christmases ago. I had all the PS2 copies, but my friend surprised me with that. So
yeah,
it not that it looks worse or better. It's just like it was like a Vaseline coat on like the whole game. Is kind of what it looked like.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I agree. So I watched a lot of your, I guess, Let's Play lights on that, and so I guess I should start by saying, like, I went for a completionist run, so I collected everything, and
how there's so much stuff in that game,
which is my point. But like, we had very different experiences. Like, from what I saw in your gameplay, you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then I was watching that gameplay saying, oh, just go over there. There's a thing around that corner. Oh no! And then you just walk right past. I'm like, no, Kevin, turn around.
Well, see, I was trying not to make it too obvious. I think I said it 40 times in the video, but like I was following a guide, so it was like, get this egg. I'm like, I'm not there yet. Hold on, like, and I was just like yelling and like finding all those stupid little orbs. I was like, oh my god, there's like one orb, and you need to find it because you can't skip. Or not the egg things. What are they called?
Yeah.
And then like to get the Rubik's Cube collectibles, whatever there. Like that game gave you like so little wiggle room to miss a few.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that, so I was like, I gotta find every stupid little egg. Like it's almost Donkey Kong 64 levels of completionist collecting, I guess.
Which I have yet to do. I played that game a million times as a kid. Never beat it. I need to go back.
You're not missing much. It's all right.
I feel like it's a personal like childhood hurdle. Like I need to get over it at some point, but I don't know. I'll vote it for like a game club of the month.
That's one of the long games of the quarter because like let's see, hold up, because I thought it was like a 20-hour game or something. Like I was looking it up because I wanted to vote it one month, and it is 31 and a half hours on average to beat. I was like,
yeah,
geez, rare. Like come on.
I think I can get to the first like half of that game in probably 5 hours, but the rest of it I can't. I never got further than that, so
it's just like it makes you do everything 5 times over because you got to use all the Kongs. You've
Kongs.
never seen again since there's something like Diddy.
But Lanky Kong was the best.
Chunky Kong was the best. He was awesome.
They're both great. I agree. Oh, so yeah.
I like them all.
Back to Jack and Daxter.
Yes, right. I forgot we were on that.
I remember like I was constantly flipping through all the stats and trying to make sure, okay, do I have all the orbs here? Do I have all the orbs here? And I remember being like halfway through the game and then realizing that in that swamp, I think the swamp level is the worst level in that game.
Yeah.
I had missed one orb to completing that. And I wandered around that level for 2 hours before I found it. And it was like one of those ones on a spring.
Oh,
that
so
you had
like
to like hop
off camera?
Yeah, it was up in the air. So I like had to jump up onto a platform and then hit a spring and then jump up and then hope and then do like the double jump spin, grab it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I did that and it still took me another like 10 minutes just to get that orb, just constantly doing that thing over and over and over again.
They put it like so slightly out of reach, and I feel like the whole purpose is just to solely pad out gameplay and like that one little section.
Yeah. So I think there was another point where in the water level where you come up out of the elevator and you create that dome, then you've got to get on top of it to get the power cell.
Yep.
I couldn't get up there. For the life of me, couldn't get up there.
I'd have to look back on how I got it, but I feel like I got it by accident if I remember right.
Okay.
I was like, there's a cell here. Okay.
My wife was watching me do that for a solid 20 minutes trying to get up there. It just constantly like jump up, miss, fall down, swim around before the shark got me or whatever it was. Just climb back up, jump, miss, fall, and do that. I did that for 20 minutes before I don't know what I did differently, but I just happened to get up there and get it. So
I might have cut that out because it took me so long. Actually, I was like, I cannot have 20 minutes of this video. Like,
that's a full video right there.
Yep. Thanks for watching part 47 of me sucking at Jack and Daxter. Soon tomorrow I might suck some more. Like, that's how I felt about it.
So what are you playing right now other than Okami? Just Okami?
Well, I try to keep like 3 games at a time if I do. So Okami is our long quarter. I tried Dead Space Extraction, and that's our game of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm doing myself a disservice by not playing the Wii version because it's a rail shooter. I'm playing with a PS3 controller. Luckily, I have this on hand. It's just like move the cursor, shoot. Oh, I gotta grab something. Like it doesn't
feel the same. I agree.
And I could go out and buy like the PS Move and like the gun, but I'd never use it again. So it's not a bad game, but I think it's my own fault for not making it as fun as it can. I'm just not motivated right now to play it. So I'm doing Okami. And then I recently beat Tales of Hearts R on my Vita because I actually purposely get to work early because I don't have time to play games. So I'll get to work early, play for like an hour in my car, and then go into work. So like maybe a month of playing Tales like every day for an hour. That was fun on the Vita. And then me and my buddy started Tales of Vesperia yesterday in 360. Didn't get too far in it, but I love the Tales series. Like it's overshadowed by like Final Fantasy, I think, as a whole. Mm-hmm. But you know, Final Fantasy gets a little weird here and there. But like every Tales game I've played so far is really, really good. I'm actually still doing Symphonia. Well, I'm editing Symphonia videos, so I have about 20 more to make. So,
but you have completed that one, yeah?
Yep. That is like, you want a game that'll take you on a plot twist after plot twist. Holy shit! Like, I was like, for a GameCube, essentially. I'm playing on PS3, but
yeah,
like just back then, like the writing in that, like, oh, I like this guy. That guy's a jerk. Oh, I like this girl. She's gonna kill us. Oh, she's good again. Like, it's got real like Final Fantasy level plot twist with like the simplicity, like you can follow it. So if you never played a Tales game, I say Symphonia first. Okay. And then there's more. I think I'm missing Destiny and Fantasia, and then I have them all, which is a problem. I need to slow down on.
Now, how many of them have you beat?
Just two.
Just two.
But
so you've got a long ways to go.
Yeah, I played Symphonia, and like probably halfway through, I'm like, I need every one of these games in the series. Like, it was just one of those bad collector habits, which I thought I was better at, but here I am buying more cartridges. So.
The ever struggle of the collector / video game player.
Yeah. It's that wall is getting bigger, but I just need it.
Well, is there another wall? Because all I can see is the pile behind you there.
So I'm sitting on the floor. This is my couch. So that thing goes to the floor. So it's about, I don't know, 7 feet tall. Because like I ran out of shelf space, so I started stacking things on top.
Yep.
And then it goes to the floor. So there's Xbox, PS3, Wii, GameCube. The few cartridges I have, because I was like, I'm just going to emulate cartridges, but it's not the same. You know, it's like you get a not so fresh feeling is the best way I could put it. And then there's PS1 over there with DS and Vita. It's just going to be a mess. I'm getting a whole new entertainment setup for my birthday whenever I get to go shopping for it. But it's getting bigger. Like I can barely manage it all. And then all my systems are over there, and I need to get a new place is what I need to do.
Move out for video games?
Yeah, well, the girlfriend's graduated, so now we're like, she wants to go like apartment hunting, and my first thought is like, how big of a media room can I have? Like,
can I get a house with a basement just for me?
Yes, you are not allowed down there. I'm gonna build a no girls allowed fort sign. Like, she thinks it's a joke.
I get the feeling. My wife has actually said, like, when we get a place, she wants to have like the basement just for me. So thankfully, I have that.
Perfect.
Because all I have right now is like what you see here. Like it starts, I don't know if you can see my hand. There's these like brown shelves.
Yeah.
That's the start of it. And then it ends at that other brown shelf there. Right there.
Yeah, but at least you've limited yourself where I'm just like, I'll put things on top. That makes sense because the top has no end right now. So as long as I can fit them, I'm fine. Like,
but you don't see how high it goes. It goes up there.
I can see like
stuff on top of other things.
That's it.
Like all here is yeah, that's all stacking.
Yeah.
And it's going up there. These are double stacked. I've started putting stuff behind the games because the games that I won't play as soon or regularly.
That's a smart move because now it's like I have double space. I can fit more games.
But you can't see it. That's the problem.
You got to put like a. I don't know how much space you have, but if you put like a little block of wood under there so you can see that there's more behind it, like just pop up.
So you can just see it. Yeah, but see with PS4 games, all I see is PS4 logo.
Yeah, I got the
just be a tease.
My original rule was if it doesn't if it doesn't fit in the section, that means you got to sell the excess. But I'm like, yeah, but I really love PS3, so like that one, like it goes up, and I'm like, well, Xbox doesn't have a shelf, so I'm like, the PS2 games are like this whole thing right here, like it's 3 shelves deep, and they're all PS2, like. There's just so much stuff, and I'm like, that rule's loose. Like
loose rules.
Yeah.
Collection is getting out of hand. I thought my 360 collection is still the biggest collection I think that I have. I think I've got over 200 games.
I got like 14. What the hell am I doing wrong?
Well, you have way more PS3 games, right?
Good system. I will say. I need to get more 360s.
So like my PS3 section is like just half of this shelf.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to about here, and that's it. That's all my PS3 stuff.
Missing out, man. Missing out some good exclusives.
All I have is exclusives. So
perfect. Is it because you were paying for Xbox Live, and you want to like make it your machine?
I was paying for it, but it was my machine because that's what all my friends had.
Oh, okay.
And so that's basically what I just stuck with.
Yeah.
But I'm slowly getting to the PS3 groove. I do like the exclusives that are there.
Yeah. I actually got a Killzone tattoo on my back. I don't know. I just fell so in love with that game and like the villains in that game. If you're gonna play any like PS3 exclusive, play Killzone 2 or Killzone HD on the Trilogy. Like 2 and 3.
I have the Trilogy. Okay.
Yeah, at least play 2 and 3. Which is gonna sound really weird and stupid that I got the tattoo. I still haven't played Killzone 1. I started at 2. I just haven't. But like
it just sounds like sacrilege to me.
It does. I play things out of order because I'm a weirdo. But once I finish at least editing all these Tales videos, the next thing I'm recording is Killzone 1. I'm gonna get like my raw reactions of like how that feels. It's not gonna change my feelings on like 2, 3, Mercenary, or Shadowfall. Oh yeah, I forgot I have Liberation to play too. Anyway, like I just want to see like how that one feels compared to like 2, which I think is like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun to do eventually.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's always interesting going back to like older games, like first games in the series. The one I guess foray into that is I played through like Gears of War is one of my all-time favorite franchises. Like played through it a bunch of times. You're missing out, man.
No, I have them.
Gears of War.
I have them. I went to the GameStop $1 challenge and I found it for all 3 for $1.
Yeah,
so
they're great. So the first one I played through at least 10 times with myself and or with Ben, my old cohort from Game Hunters R Us.
Yep, I remember Ben.
So that was actually the game that got me back into video gaming was Gears of War. So that it kind of holds a special place in my heart there. And then obviously 2 came out in 3, and then I got my dad into video games. So we went through like he likes shooters. So I'm like, all right, Dad, we're gonna play Gears of War. So we played through the very first Gears of War, and it is rough going back.
I feel like that game
after you've like spoiled yourself.
It looks like it aged so well. So I mean, obviously it's the difference of like a movie and a game, but like it looks so.
It still looks pretty good. You can definitely tell that it's still a transition period between the original Xbox and the 360.
Yeah.
So like some of the visuals still look like original Xbox, and some of the control cues look like they're from or feel like they're from the original Xbox controller. Some of the stuff that doesn't quite make sense, like why would this be here and why would you do that? Just in that aspect of things. But then you get to 2, and 2 is a masterpiece in my opinion. Probably the same thing between like your Killzone 2. Gears of War 2 is the best one of the series.
That's fair. They like rough controls, like that whole transition time. You want rough controls. Rainbow Six Vegas, at least 2. I haven't played 1. I can imagine it's rougher. But like I was playing with my buddy, like L2 is sprint, L1 is like give orders, like holding R2 puts on like night vision. I'm just like this didn't age well at all. Like, and the aiming down the sights is actually less accurate than hip firing because reasons. But
yeah, they just hadn't quite figured it out yet, really.
Mute button's really good. I was sick like 2 weeks ago, and I still get like fluid in my lungs. I just don't want to be coughing in like people's ears. So you're welcome, viewers.
Thank you, Kevin, from myself and viewers and listeners.
Yeah.
So I should actually do a quick. I guess it's me. I'll do how do I say this?
Transition.
I was gonna say information.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll do information. Okay. So this is clearly we're doing a video podcast. That doesn't make any sense, but video podcast. So this will be available on SoundCloud if you're watching or listening to this on SoundCloud. This is also going to be available on YouTube, and if you're watching this on YouTube and you don't want to watch the whole video, head over to SoundCloud and check it out there in audio format, or save your data streaming.
It's a good idea.
There was one podcast that was only coming out on YouTube, and I was like I said before, I drive a truck for a living, and I actually just played the YouTube video, put it off to the side, and listening to a video being played, and just it ate up all my data trying to do that. So
yeah, you got to rip the MP3. I think I used Clip Converter. You can download that MP3 right there, buddy.
I know I should have done that, but I was like, it works like this. I'll just do that.
Data's fine. Data's unlimited.
Who needs data? Actually, it didn't really matter then because I had 8 limit, so it wouldn't matter. But it did take up quite a bit because I think it auto loaded to like an HD setting, which I didn't notice.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, HD audio quality, man. It's pretty
I
great.
hit that 144p button if I'm in traffic. I know it's dangerous to do in traffic, but like I'll be listening to something and I'm like, really shitty quality. That'll fix that. Like,
I'm not watching this anyway. Put off to the side. So anyways, we do have a topic to jump into here. Now this is just a topic that I kind of came up with and threw it to you, and you seem to like it.
I do. I got words. I got some beef to throw down with these.
Good, because we're gonna need it. So what we're gonna talk about is the hardest games we've ever beaten in our history as video game players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a huge list here, but you will see a trend in what I consider to be difficult games. But seeing as you are the guest, I will let you go first. I think you do one, I'll do one, and then we'll.
All right. I'm going to do my honorable mention first, so we can slowly slide in. Speaking of Rainbow Six Vegas 2, if you ever played Terrorist Hunt on Rainbow Six Vegas 2, you have to set it on highest amount of enemies, realistic difficulty. So if you've ever played not like Call of Duty, like Rainbow Six, if you're getting shot, you're dead. Like, doesn't matter how much armor you have on. You don't reload a clip and magically bullets just go back into the stash. Like, you lose the clip. Like, you're dead. It took me and my buddy 2 years of playing one level of Terrorist on these settings to beat one level. And then we were like, we're done. That is it forever. And finally started a second level. Like,
call it a success.
Oh my God. Like the first level in it too. So I can only imagine as you go down the list, like how much worse it gets. But yeah, that's my little honorable mention for hardest game ever being one level of a thing.
Fair enough. So yeah, that's your honorable mention. You can hop into your number one then.
Oh, okay. I beat it recently, and call me a scumbag cheater, but I save stated and finally beat Castlevania 3 on
very good.
On my phone. I use a Bluetooth controller because I'm not totally sadistic. That game is stupid hard. Like, I know games back in the day were meant to like you lose and you're supposed to like put time into it, but like I'm an adult and I'm playing like 15 minutes at work on break. And I save scummed the hell out of it. Like, I got to Dracula and I'd do a hit and I'd be like, save! Do a hit, save! Like, and even doing that, it took me like a month to beat. So, I'm finally say I beat Castlevania 3, but save stating alone is not enough to beat that game like fairly, because you end up like screwing yourself. Like, oh, I only have like a quarter of a life bar to save before Dracula. It's like, it sucks to be you now, doesn't it? And if you lose, like, I beat it. So at least
that's
to my
good.
standards,
That's
I beat
it. That's okay. I accept it as a hard game. I also have one that I save stated through. So we'll call it even. So I have two honorable mentions here again that I'm going to throw in. The first one being Captain Skyhawk on the NES.
I love that game.
I love it as well. I love it, but when I played it, it was stupid hard. Especially as like a kid growing up, trying to beat it over and over and over. I only beat it for the first time like maybe 4 years ago. And since then, like now I can probably beat it within like 20 minutes. But like I said, honorable mention because a lot of people start playing it and they're like, this is too hard, and then they just shut it off. So
yeah, everybody hates that game that I know personally. I'm like, that game's good. What's wrong with you guys? Like,
it's great.
It's impressive, like graphically. Like, I was like, I don't see the problem here.
And the second, I have two honorable mentions. The second is the Ren and Stimpy's Invention on Genesis.
Ooh, I never played that.
It suffers from a lot of control issues, which I think is what makes it hard. Hit detection. But again, it's one of those games. I had a bunch of friends over the other night, and I put it on my Retron 5, and I had one of my friends who literally saw the game. He's like, nope, and he put the controller down. He's like, I'm not playing this game. I refuse because it sucks.
All right.
It's way too hard.
Like, quitter.
He just absolutely refused to play it because he had been beaten down so many times as a kid. He's just like, I can't play this game ever. So again, another reason why I put it into the honorable mention, because again, subjectivity, which I guess is a good place to say that I guess the games on our list are subject to subjectivity. A lot of the games that we find hard, you as a listener may not find hard and be like, oh, that game's super easy. I can beat that game, no problem, blah, 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 blah.
I'm just
great
scum at it.
Yeah, great for you. We're happy for you. These are games that we specifically found really hard. So we're going to go with that. And also I should say, we don't know what each other's lists are. So this is also going to be a surprise for both of us. So,
yes, sir.
All right. Number 1 on my list is the Trials HD and Trials Evolution on the Xbox 360.
Ooh. Those are hard to get, those time trials. Like, to normally play them and just be like, oh, I could scoot through the end. Like, you can do that.
Yeah, you can always make it to the end. But what made it hard is that I've beaten, I can't confirm for Trials Evolution, I forgot to check, but Trials HD, I beat to completion. So 100% in about everything. I got platinum awards on all of them, which means you're beating them all within the time limit and no crashes. And one of the hardest levels on there, like when you get to the expert mode, it's there's a map on there called Inferno, and it's known as being the hardest map in the game, and they've continued that tradition through all the other ones. There's always a map called Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4. They continued on, and I beat that level without crashing within the platinum time limit. So it was a personal accomplishment for myself, and I had friends here to witness me do it. So it is legit. Thank you very much. So if you haven't played Trials HD, it's kind of like a stunt game, I guess we'll call it. Basically, getting from the start to end. You're on a motorbike. It's on a 2D plane in a 3D environment, and you're basically controlling gas, brake, and leaning left or right in order to go over obstacles and do jumps and flips and land your bike correctly to continue going on and get from the start to the end within the time limit. And you're subject to a 30-minute cutoff. So if you don't beat the level within 30 minutes, that just ends.
Really?
Or I think it's 250 retries. You can like do a quick reset, and that counts towards your retry limit. I think it's 250 retries, and then it just like, no, you suck, you're done, and it just kicks you back out to the beginning. So
that's really like depressing. I didn't know that.
But yeah, I only know that because there's several levels that we did hit the time limit several times. So
that's a streamer. That game's a streamer's paradise, by the way, just to watch one like get so mad.
It's great. It's great. Also, multiplayer. I don't remember the first one has it, but Trials Evolution has multiplayer, so you can do four-player racing, which is a lot of fun as well. And the best part is live racing on actual courses against a friend's ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So they're actually playing live too, but they just show up as a ghost, and you're like constantly competing each other, going back and forth.
I was gonna say, I hope they're ghosts, because you're gonna bump into them and like.
I wish they would put it as an option where you could have them like actually there, and you'd have to like, if they're in your way, you'd have to vault over them or climb like right over their body as they crash or something like that. I think it'd be
suck it, nerd.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Trials HD to full completion, and Trials Evolution I think to completion, but not sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Trials Fusion that came out on PS4.
I like that one.
It's not as good as Evolution. I'm going to say that right now.
Fusion's the first one I played, and then I don't know if it's related to the actual trial, but it's called Urban Trials on 3DS. I don't know if it's the same developer.
It's. I think they're trying to capitalize on it, but I don't think it's related.
Yeah, it's that. So I guess that and Fusion are the only ones I've ever played.
Okay.
So,
well, if you have a 360,
I do now.
You should check out Trials Evolution.
Deal.
It's it's probably pretty cheap by now, I hope.
I mean, I don't have any downloaded 360 games because I didn't know how live worked. I was like, do I have to pay for that too? But I guess I can go online and just download games.
Yeah, you just need live to play online.
No, I'm out. I already don't like playing for PS Plus. If I didn't get it for Christmas every year, I wouldn't get it. But well, then we did use it for Nidhogg, so it does have a use.
It does have a use, yes, Nidhogg. So,
watch our Nidhogg video.
Plug, shameless plug. Creepleet versus Console Kev, Nidhogg.
I got destroyed.
Not that first match, though.
No, I had like one good run. I was like, yeah. I died.
All right, on to you for your number 2.
My next one is which one am I doing? What order? I know. All right. So I said Castlevania, and all right. So I got the next one is. I only played one. I have the collection on DS. It's Mega Man Zero. Have you ever played one?
Ooh. Have I played Mega Man 1 or a Mega Man?
No, Mega Man Zero. Like Mega Man 1. There's 4 of them.
Oh, I think I have. I think I have one on Game Boy. No, wait, do I? I think I have. I may have the DS one.
Good.
I can't remember.
The DS one because it's like $20 for that, and the games on Game Boy are like 20 each. So,
okay,
try to make it work. So this game indirectly mocks you if you lose. So obviously it's a Mega Man difficult game. So there's that. And Zero's a way better Mega Man than X will ever be. So as you go through the game, you get like the same deal. He's got his buster, his sword, and then you got to go through these levels and defeat whatever robot master it is. But it's not like a choose 8. It's just like do a level. If you lose, the game gives you options. You get continue, which is using a continue. You could pick those up. And you only get like 3. And to find another one in the game is impossible. Like you can farm for like 3 hours and an enemy just won't drop one. So you can use that, and then you're like, okay, now I'm one less down. Might as well be for the whole game. You can retry the whole level, no matter how far along you got in it. Or you can just give up. And now giving up means like the story changes where you didn't beat this robot master. He destroyed some part of the world. You also don't get his power. And you need that power to beat some things. So like you can play through this whole game of like just barely skidding through. And then like you get this one robot master. It's like, nah, nothing hurts me but fire. And then you're just like, fuck. And you can't go back and redo it. So like you either have to chip away, you're like, I'm so screwed. So then you go back or use a continue, and then it's just like, oh. So you just have to like be good and beat it. And I think I played that game for like a year and a half on and off of just trying to beat it. And I just finally did it. And I was like, I will never play the next 3 because I can't go through this again.
But it's such a great feeling, though.
Oh, it's so good. Like that feels better than any of the X games do.
Yeah.
Like I love like the shoulder buttons on a 3DS XL because the R button is mapped to his sword by default. Just feels so good, just slashing through enemies, and like it does like a quick little ninja animation when the gears like they slide real quick and they slide off, and you're just like, Zero's really cool. Like, I think I decided that like now I beat Tales of Hearts, I'm gonna bring Mega Man 2. I'm gonna do it. I'll see you in 5 years when I beat it. Oh, and there's one other thing it teases you with. Say it's the game's too hard for you, you can play what's called easy scenario, and it'll baby walk you through the first like the 4 games. Like, here's an enemy, shoot it, and it like destroys it. It's like, good. Here's a boss fight, and like you take one shot, and the enemy, like the boss enemy, like half his life bars down, and you're just like, you did it, good for you. Like okay, so I can't play this, and then it's just like, okay, then it's gonna kick you in the ass, and like whole game mocks you essentially.
Sets you up for failure.
Yep.
Cool, sounds good. I'll have to double check. I don't think I have it in case. I think I just have it loose, but it's either 0 or ZX.
ZX is really good. That's it's a Metroidvania Mega Man game essentially.
Okay. That may be the one I have. I don't think I may not have 0. Okay. Maybe I do. I can't remember.
That game's real good. It's real good.
Cool. Sorry. My number 2 is this isn't. I should say number. I don't know how many I have. Anyways, next one. I'll say next. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
Yeah, I didn't put that on my list actually. That's a good call.
That game was balls hard. balls hard. So this is the game that I save stated through.
I saw you do this actually. I remember that.
Yeah, so we live streamed the whole thing. Part of my 2017 New Year's resolution was to beat as many Zelda games as I could. Hopefully in order. That's broken now because I played Breath of the Wild. So we did the first one and the second one. The first game we beat in about 7 hours straight. I had some friends over and we just kind of ran through it. The second one was about 4 or 5 nights of solid streaming, about 7 hours apiece. So it is nuts. Now, This is one that I used through my Retron 5, and so that's how we save stated our way through it. It's up for contention right now if that didn't make the game harder or not, because we did some research, some YouTube reconnaissance to see like, okay, how do we get through this area? And what the attack patterns that we were seeing on YouTube, which I assume are the actual cartridges being played, their attack patterns made sense. They were easy to block or easy to attack through and get past. But the Retron 5, as you know, is like an emulator, so it like rips the ROM, emulates it, and that may or may not affect the source code in some way to where the enemies knew what we were going to do before we even did it. We had a really hard time defeating bosses, defeating enemies. So yeah, it was really, really hard, which is why we save stated our way through it.
There's no shame in that. Honestly, when it comes to like NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis games, save state all day. Contra hardcore, I still can't beat it like that.
Well, you want to enjoy the game too, right? Like at least this way, if I ever decide to go back and play it, I'm in for. But trying to just go in straight and be like, I've never played this game before, I'm gonna just run through it, and then just die over, start the game over, die, start the game over, die, start the whole game over, and it just, I don't have time for that anymore, as many adults do. And so that save states are totally worth it. And I mean, if you love the game enough and you keep playing it over and over again, you will get good at it to the point where you can go through it without save stating. But if you don't care that much, like me, then yeah, or you, save state.
I don't care. I saw credits roll and I didn't look them up on YouTube, so
yeah, exactly.
There we go. Yeah.
So yeah, but other than that, I did a whole rundown on this. I made a video on my YouTube channel called the Zelda recap or something like that. It's on my channel. You can check it out there at youtube.com/Creepleet. And that's Creepleet with a 1337.
I remember you saying why you made that name, but I totally forgot. Not to go on a side tangent.
That was my Xbox 360 gamer tag.
Ah, okay.
That's what got me. Well, it still is, I guess. That's because, I don't know. That's what really got me back into gaming, and so that's what I figured I will continue my gaming tradition with that name. I realize it's not a great name. A lot of people are just like, I don't know why you picked that name, but
it's a fine name. I mean, okay, so it's like, Josh is creepy, but I'm like, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I've accepted it. There was a time where I did consider changing it. But yeah, whatever. I don't care too much anymore. Yeah. So yeah, your turn.
Okay, so this one has a little bit of a story to it, so I want you to buckle in.
Okay.
And speaking of my anniversary with Tina, so if you've ever played Final Fantasy 3, the real 3, not Super Nintendo 3, on DS, right? I didn't know going into it that like this port for some reason is like especially difficult, where the encounter rate is like crazy high. So that's already a problem. The maps are kind of unclear, so that was kind of a problem. Like where to even go next, it's just like, I don't know, Square didn't really put the time into that game. And towards the end of the game, I have everybody leveled up like crazy. Like I even named the characters. So I was the warrior. My buddy was a mage. My girlfriend Tina was the white mage, and another friend of mine was like our black mage. So I had like the whole team lined up, and I'm getting to this final dungeon, and you can't save in the dungeon. So like to do anything, you would have to like go in, and to level up, I'd be like, okay, I got to go back out and save because I leveled up, so I'm grinding. And like if you die in it, then you got to start the dungeon all over, no matter how far you were. And I've already been playing this game for like 50, 60 hours because it's just been forever. I want to beat it. I want to keep playing Final Fantasies. And I get to the final boss, and it's just totally kicking my ass. I can't even remember the guy's name. I was just so traumatized by like this whole experience. So one weekend, my girlfriend's family wants to go up to Vermont. And from Connecticut to Vermont, it's normally like a 4-hour drive. And we were going to stop halfway, and there was traffic the whole way. And the whole time I'm grinding on this boss. I can't beat him. Go back in, level up, grind, try to beat him, die. Try to beat him, die. And I did this for like 2 hours. I shut it off. I rage quit. I'm like, She didn't do it. I'd start playing something else. Like, no, I got to do it. Go ahead. Go back and run. Keep dying. And we're still stuck in traffic this whole time. We've barely gotten out of the state. So I go in to fight this boss one last time. I'm like, okay, if I don't do it this time, I'm shutting it off. And the fight's going kind of okay, but I'm still getting my ass kicked. Like every time I waste a turn reviving somebody, another guy gets killed. So I'm always in this constant like stalemate of like heal, die. And I'm throwing everything I got. Like the one few times I go to attack, like I do some damage, but then I'll die. And I'm just like, all right, I got to shut it off for the night. My whole party's wiped out. And the last person standing is like Tina, the white mage with like 12 health. I'm just like, all right, well, I'm clearly fucked. Like, whatever. I'm going to see what I'm going to do. And she can't hit for shit because she's a white mage. So it's like, whatever I'm going to do. So I look in the items and I'm just like, I don't know. I had like some magic spell. It was like a basic ice damage thing I just never threw out, right? I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to save it and shut it off once I die because it lets you be like, hey, you want to save? I'm like, yeah, I guess whatever. So I throw it out and it kills it. I was like, you got to be
Random.
fine. You got to be fucking kidding me. Like, all this time, we're sitting in this car for 3 hours right now, and that killed it. Like, it wasn't like the trick where like it's a phoenix down, it's an undead monster. It was just like a basic ice attack, and I was just like, of course, like the one person to kill the boss is like my white mage, named after my girlfriend, sitting in this traffic for 3 hours, and the second that the credits started rolling, I'm not even shitting you, traffic cleared. And I was just like, this is some bullshit. Like, the ultimate signs of the universe is like, yeah, I guess you better keep her around and like traffic cleared. I'm just like, fuck. And I like told her this. She's like, I guess I'm the best. Like, won't let it like live it down now. And I was just like, I guess that's every goddamn sign from the universe that you're just sticking around. All right then. So, Final Fantasy 3 and DS, that specific version is bullshit.
Bullshit. Fair enough. I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
You're missing out.
I doubt that I ever will. Not gonna lie.
Play Tales first. I'll still say that.
Yeah, RPGs and me are not friends really. I know that RPGs and you are like BFFs, but
I'm getting into them more now because you can pick them up, grind, put them down. Busy work life, you know.
Yeah, I guess. I'm more of a platformer kind of guy. If you can't tell by my list so far.
I do. I can tell.
You can tell? Okay. Well, it's about to get more obvious here in a second. Have you heard of the game N+?
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. I keep seeing it, and I don't... Like, it just looks like some weird artsy-fartsy game, and I'm probably totally wrong.
I guess it's basically like you're a little stick ninja and you have to go around and basically collect a key to get out of the door. You collect gold pieces. Your time bar is consistently going down. You collect gold pieces to make that time go up. Everything in the level is trying to kill you, but you're a ninja, so it's cool. You cannot attack. It's only running and maneuvering and dodging, and basically get what you need to do and get out. You cannot attack.
What kind of ninja is this?
A pacifist one.
It's a shitty ninja.
Anyways, this game starts out pretty easy, kind of teaching you the level basics. But I will say that, okay, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler. The first time I beat this game was on the 360, where you basically have to play in levels of 5 blocks. So there's a block of levels, and you have to play 5 of them, and then you can save your game. So if you only beat,
allowed to save.
And then you're allowed to save. So if you play 3 and like the 4th one's just kicking your ass and you can't beat it, and you're like, screw it, I'm done. If you quit, you have to play the other 3 again to get up to that point.
That's
before
like
you can continue.
Bandicoot almost.
I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't played Crash Bandicoot. I haven't played it.
I haven't either. I'm getting the Insane Trilogy, I hope soon. So
anyways, so there's a pattern to everything if you can figure it out, or you can just bullshit your way through it, which is kind of a lot what I did. But you get to a point where it's I got so good I was playing you can play co-op, like up to 4 players through the whole thing, and trying to just, if you mass attack everything and try to get one person get the key and then one person get out, then that's one way to kind of cheese the level. But I did beat the entire game to completion in single player, and I will tell you that the last half of that game will beat you down. It will beat you down hard. It is rough. There are times where you cannot see the pattern. You just move, a missile comes and you're dead, or you jump out of an area and then a laser beam just hits you, or a robot or something's flying at you. Or it is absolutely insane the amount of craziness that comes at you in that game. It was the only game. Actually, it's not the only game. One of the only games that I physically got so angry at the game that I got up and threw my controller across the room. Didn't break it because I hit a pillow because I aimed properly.
Because I'm not that crazy.
Those controllers are expensive, especially
I'm
when you're
angry but financially responsible.
Yeah, exactly. I had a roommate at the time, and he would come out and watch me play. He would get frustrated, and he would have to leave. But to this day, he remembers me getting up and whipping my controller across the room. And yeah, we still talk about it.
He's probably like,
yes.
You're crazy.
He can't stand, like, if I even bring it up now, he's just like, you remember that one time you got so angry you threw your controller across the room? Yeah.
Do you beat your wife? I'm going to call the cops.
So I love the game. It was a lot of fun. Afterwards, it's that feeling of accomplishment, right? I'm like, oh, this is great. Oh wait, there's another version of this game on the Nintendo DS. So I downloaded it because I had an R4 card, and I'm cheap.
What? You pirated it? What?
I have it legit now, so it's okay.
Yeah, that makes it totally better now.
It makes it better now. Yeah. So I went through the entire, and the game is different on the Nintendo DS than it is on the 360. All new levels. So I beat that game to completion as well. Over a vacation period of 2 weeks, I think it took me to beat that game. Not as hard as the 360 one, but still has its issues. And then I was like, hey, there's another version of this game on the PSP. Ooh, so I bought that one and then also beat that one to completion.
I'm looking up N++ now. Is that the same game?
N++ is different. I haven't touched that one yet.
Oh, there's N. Wait, there's N++, and then there's N++ again. Oh, there's too many N++s.
No, there's N+. It started out as like a Flash game.
Oh.
I tried playing the Flash version. I'm just not that good with keyboard controls because you can't map a controller to a Flash game. But yeah, it did come to 360 arcade and then DS and PSP. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend it if you're in for a good hardcore platforming challenge. That is one of them.
So is N++ the same series, or is it?
It's in the same series, but it's a different game.
Okay, I looked on the PlayStation Store to see if I can get on Vita. I'm looking at this one. It's just like there's a lot going on in this. This looks like nonsense. So
it's different.
Are the DS one and the PSP one the same? Because I've seen those before. No,
they have the same name, but they have different levels.
Okay, so they are two different games, so I can get both. Got it.
Yeah, and they're cheap. Like I got mine for like I think they're $10 right now.
Perfect. So, all right.
Yeah.
I got one more since you brought up platformers like this that I totally forgot about. I thought my big Final Fantasy story was going to be my finale. I beat Super Meat Boy this year.
Ooh.
And
you just took my number one. You just took my number one.
I'm sorry. I beat it on the Vita. And yeah, well, I bought on a flash sale. I was like, Super Meat Boy can't be that hard. Oh, fuck, it's that hard. Specifically the Hell Boss, which the only thing to do in that is just memorize that pattern. There's no like real tell of what he's gonna do. I even looked up a guide. It's like there's a slight tell, but you're gonna miss it. Don't worry about it. And I think like so another road trip. We were coming from Connecticut to Pennsylvania. My little brother's graduating college, and the whole time in the car, what that one fight, 4-hour ride, I was like, I'm gonna fucking do this. And I didn't get all the Dark World levels because by then I was just like, nah, good. I see credits. I don't care. I got one extra character. I'm good. I played enough of that game. I got my money's worth out of it.
Yeah, it's good. So if you played it, then you might be impressed. I 100% of that game.
Okay, you're an insane person. That's fine. You can be crazy.
I got A+ on because you get graded. You can beat it, then you can get an A+ beat, right? Which means you beat it within the time period that they set for you. So I A+ all the Light World, and then I A+ all of the Dark World. And then there's like
you're insane.
I like hard platformers. I can't explain it.
Nope.
Anyways, did you play like we call them the Pepto-Bismol levels because like you're playing as Bandage Girl and everything's pink?
Yep, I played those and not all of them. I don't think.
Okay.
Like the ones that like it forces you to do. I really did, but
yeah. So like we went through we went through all of those and A+ those. Pretty nuts. The one level that I'm gonna bring up. Like I'm gonna say right now, I love Super Meat Boy. I think it's fantastic. I even have the T-shirt. It's great.
There's a T-shirt.
Yeah, there's a T-shirt. It looks awesome. It's on Newgrounds. You have to check it out.
Ooh.
Did you do any of the bonus levels?
The whole internet just like crapped out right there. What happened?
Oh, sorry. You okay? Are you back?
No, I'm back. It was just like, do you?
Okay.
I was like, did I die? No, I haven't died.
Did you play any of the bonus levels, like the Warp Zone levels?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So in the level, if you're fast enough to get into an area, there's a little like black hole that's like swirling around. You touch it, then you.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. And there's a big voice that goes Warp Zone, and it like pulls you back, and you play like. The aesthetics is really cool. So it looks like you're playing like an original Game Boy game or anything like that.
Yep.
One of the levels to unlock characters called I Want to Be the Guy.
Oh yeah, the Battle Kid like game, right?
Pardon?
The Battle Kid, that game for NES.
I don't know. I Want to Be the Guy is like
just like that.
Okay. It's basically like I played it as a Flash game. It's basically deemed as one of the hardest games ever made. You move and something flies out and kills you, and you have to know where everything is in order to beat it. There's like
the Ryu, hurricane kick.
Yeah, and then there's like one of the levels is like Mike Tyson punch out at the back, and he's like, you're like this little tiny guy and giant Mike Tyson. Anyways, there is a I Want to Be the Guy bonus level in Super Meat Boy. And there's 3 levels to it, awesome. And so combine I Want to Be the Guy with Super Meat Boy hard. Like they're both hard, but like it's insane. I spent a good probably 3 to 4 hours beating it, and it's a set of 3 levels. So you have to beat all of them. There's no time limit, thankfully, or anything. You just have to beat it. I'm the only person that I know. Personally, I've seen people do it online, but of all the people that I know who have played the game, I'm the only person who's beaten them. I've had friends bring their Xboxes over to my house because we played it on 360.
Mm-hmm.
I had friends bring their 360 over to my house so that I could play those levels and beat it, so they could get the I Want to Be the Guy character to play in the game.
So you're good at this, I guess.
I'm not saying this to brag. Like I don't want to sound like I'm boasting or anything like that, but it is ridiculously hard.
What a narcissist. That's actually stupid impressive. The basic ending of that game was all I needed. Like, good for you that you can do that. But, you'll never see me trying Super Meat Boy speed runs or anything.
Oh man, you should stream that. I'd love to hear your frustration. I love watching people.
Internet,
that game.
no.
Internet wants it.
Yeah, no, Super Meat Boy.
All right.
That game is real good.
It's really good. It's nice because like the controls are on point. You don't feel like you don't feel like when you die that it was the game. You just felt like you know that you screwed up. You didn't hit the button right.
I'm missing something in this level that makes it work the way it does. Which
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
a couple times.
There's a lot of stuff that you realize that the game is meant to be run through. So if you hold down your right trigger to run through the game, you can beat most of the levels with ease. Just run through everything.
Yeah,
don't ever stop.
See, the thing is, I remember playing Super Meat Boy, and I was dabbling around in a couple like phone games, which hold my attention for like 5 seconds, and they all had this like 3-star system, and I'm like, where did this originate from? And then I played Super Meat Boy, I'm like, this is gonna suck. And like, luckily I don't have that personality where I have to get 3 stars in every level or an A+. I was just like, I'm good. That's fine.
I'm good. Got it. I sometimes do, but not always. It really depends on the game. I will say that I played Super Meat Boy after playing N+. So after playing N+, I played the demo for Super Meat Boy. I'm like, I can't buy this. I'm just gonna get my life's just gonna get sucked away into this, and I'm just gonna play it forever and ever and ever. And I'll never beat it, and I'll just be upset. And then I played more of the level. I'm like, damn, this is so good. And then I bought it, and yeah. I would have parties. I'd have people come over, and we would just sit around and play Super Meat Boy for hours.
See, it's hard to. I'm jealous of you because I don't have friends that will want to do that. I'm just like, let's play old games. Come on. Oh, okay.
Well, Super Meat Boy is not really old.
No, but if it's older than like 5 years, my friends don't want to touch it. I'm like, but you missed out on some good stuff. They're like, nah, we don't care. I'm like, you don't understand.
There's too many good things.
I know. Like one of my friends like, man, I wish I played Last of Us. I'm like, it's on PS4 now. He's like, no, it's not relevant anymore. I'm like,
yeah, it's past. I haven't played it yet either. I need to.
Yeah, but it's so good. At least you recognize that though.
I do recognize. The one thing I'm afraid of is that it's been overhyped and that it won't be as good as I think.
It's good.
Okay.
The first 5 minutes of that game feels.
I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn right now, and I feel like it's suffering from the overhypedness of it. That's just my own personal feelings, though. That's just me.
That's so good.
It's still good. It's still good.
How far are you into it?
I'm not that far.
Okay, that explains it. It's gonna really ramp up when you learn like why. I'm gonna call her Aloy because Aloy is a stupid name. Why Aloy's like doing what she's doing, like figuring out why the world's the way it is, and you're just gonna be like, oh shit, like
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
The hard part for me right now, like, this is going off on a tangent right now. The hard part right now is that I've been playing Breath of the Wild, and that game is just so good, and I've only become a Zelda fan this year. I started in January, and already Breath of the Wild is in my top 3, if not my #1 most favorite game I've ever played.
Yeah, they have the same scenario, like the whole same getup, so I get that.
Yeah, and so now I'm spoiled though, because in Zelda I'm just like, oh, I kind of want to go over here. I kind of want to sneak past these people. I'm gonna go climb around and go this way. You can't do that in Horizon, which is I find very distracting almost, because I'm like, oh, there's a crack over here. I could probably jump through that, and the game's just like, nope, you can't. No, or you can't climb this unless there's a specific place for you to grab onto. Yeah. So I feel like I've been spoiled.
So I actually just got Breath of the Wild yesterday for Wii U, and I want to try it. I'm waiting.
Fantastic.
I think after beat Okami, depending on where I am with editing Tales of Symphonia, that's going to be my next. If I'm done with that, I'm going to play Killzone. But I don't know. I'm ready to see, because I think as of right now, I have no personal reason to want a Switch, and like. It's hard to sell a system with one game. Like,
yeah, it's like $400 system. A $400 game is what you're paying.
Yeah, like I don't want to pay that much money for just Zelda, so I'm gonna get on Wii U. And like, there's just nothing else on it right now that like makes me want it. And I'm really scared like Breath of the Wild is gonna be my last Zelda game. Like, if you're just gonna get like another Zelda, I'm like, that's cool, but it's a lot of money just to play one game. Like. So
well, yeah. Hopefully they continue the trend though, and they make another Zelda in the same kind of vein as that.
That's ambitious though. Like, that'll take forever to do.
Well, it took forever with this one, and we're still okay with it. But I mean, look at like all the other games coming out, like the new Metroid coming out. If they made like a Metroid in the kind of same idea as the new Zelda. I think that would be kick ass.
I have to play the first 3 primes, actually. I have them, and I've never touched them.
Me too.
So I have Trilogy downloaded on my Wii U. I'm wondering like if it's worth it just playing with the motion controls.
I've heard mixed batches on both. Some people say it's better just to play with the controller. Some people say motion controls are better. It's really a personal preference.
Struggles. I'm gonna see what happens.
Anyways, do you have another game that you have, or?
I don't. Can I take 5 seconds to look behind me?
Okay. Well, I'll take my last one here.
Still listening. Go ahead.
While you look. So another kind of obscure game that I found absurdly hard. Okay, and I will preface this by saying, so like all the other games in my list, so like the Trials games, Adventure of Link, N Plus, Super Meat Boy, I had friends over that would kind of help me through those. We'd take turns. I have beaten everything by myself aside from like Adventure of Link. This game I started playing, and all of my friends are just like, nope, none of us are going to touch this. This is all you. So it's called Abin, Hawkins, and the 1,000 Spikes.
I only know that as 1001 Spikes.
That's the second game.
Wait.
That's the second game. The first one, Abin, Hawkins, and the 1,000 Spikes. It's an Xbox Live arcade. I think it's an exclusive. I bought it for a whopping $2, and it is hard as shit. It's take that the I want to be the guy level in Super Meat Boy and make a whole game out of that.
Don't you only have 1,000 lives? Am I right?
Yes, I think you do.
I think in the second one you have either 100 or 1,001.
1,000. I think it's 1,001.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is tough. It is tough, and there's like you're basically like you're like Indiana Jones. It's a mix between like Indiana Jones and Spelunky. Mixed, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You're an archaeologist. You're going through an area. You're trying to get the treasure and get out. And everything's trying to kill you, and a lot of stuff you won't see coming until you know what to look for. So you'll be going, and all of a sudden a spike will just come up and kill you for no reason. And you're just like, oh, so you just have to know that's there, or there's a block, and there's a little 1 pixel difference on that block to show you that one is going to be a spike to come up and kill you. And eventually you start to be able to read the levels and kind of figure out where stuff is. Yeah, I did beat it. I didn't get a game over. I didn't go over 1,000 lives, but I did beat it under the 1,000. But it is tough. And I remember, I think I still have the picture somewhere, when I had my friend tell me, you'll never beat this game because it was harder than Super Meat Boy or harder than N+. And I guess, that's up for debate. But he saw it and he was like, this is way, way too hard in comparison to those games. There's no way you'll ever beat it. And I think within the next week, I did finally beat it, and I took a picture of the end screen and sent it to him. And I said, you were saying what?
I thought of one more.
Okay, go for it. Mega
Man X. Because it's the only X game I played. The only thing that sucks about it wouldn't be so bad if when you got to the Sigma stages, is if when you shut your system off, saves between every level in the PS2 version. It's like, oh, saving. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Doesn't matter. Shut your system off. You got to do them all over again. Oh my god, this just sucks. I can't decide between Mega Man 1 and Mega Man X1. So
we can call it a tie.
It's just brutal.
I considering like I'm wearing a Mega Man shirt right now. It's kind of hypocritical because I've never actually beaten a Mega Man game. And
I don't blame you. That's not wrong.
But considering all the other games I've beaten, you'd think I should be able to do Mega Man. But I don't know. There's just something about it that I'm like, I get to a certain point and I'm just like, oh, I can't. Maybe it's just the harsh punishment of like, you fail, you start all the way back.
Do you have the NES carts or on PS2 or something?
I have some NES carts and I have the PS2 ones.
Play them all on PS2 because it's a little more forgiving, like just to know that you can save it and like you don't have to put in a whole password. You just reload it. You have your weapons. Sometimes you put in a password and it's like, oh, I don't have this gun for some reason, like whatever binary coding is. Like, It's just nice to pick it up and it's there. And like it's you have the shoulder buttons to switch between weapons faster.
Okay.
The square and triangle are like turbo buttons for the PS2. So like, just it makes you. The pause trick does work with Yellow Devil on PS2. It's a little weirder timing because the menu animation comes up, but it works.
Yeah, it works. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to. I do need to work on that. Oh, and I feel like you can't really call yourself a platformer, a hard platformer lover without beating a Mega Man. So
at least do 2, because like 2 is like the easiest.
That's the one I don't have. I don't have that one.
PS2 collection.
Well, okay. Yes.
Play it on there. It counts. Like you don't got to go spend the money on those cartridges.
No, I agree.
I'm all for finding games in a legal way, the cheapest way. Like if it means I got to download Gargoyle's Quest, I'll do it. I don't care. I legally own it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna pay up the butt for like the X games and Mega Man normal. It just doesn't make sense financially. So I just got the collections. I think it was $10 brand new on Amazon when I got mine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sounds about right.
Do it.
That was actually another dilemma I had. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this because we're running out of time here. But I'm having a bit of a moral dilemma between, say, like, so I have some games original. So I have 2 Mega Mans on NES, not Mega Man 2, but 2 of the Mega Mans, and 2 of the Mega Man X's on Super Nintendo. But I have the Mega Man Anniversary Collection and the Mega Man X Collection on PS2. So do I sell the cartridges because I have them on PS2? Or
you have a kid to raise. You sell those cartridges.
But see, doesn't that take away from some of the authenticity of playing the game?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Unless like if you got like the Silent Hill HD collection and like the games are like so different and broken and like busted, like but the Mega Man games they emulate perfectly. Like at the end of the day, like you legally own the game, like it plays perfectly. You even get little bonuses with the shoulder buttons. Just like, yeah, sell them, man. I sold all my Mega Man cartridges the second I got the collections. So,
okay, but then where do we draw the line though? Because this is part of it. So like you're getting the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, yes?
Yeah.
I have the other Crash games on PS1. Do I sell those ones off because I'm getting the Crash Insane Trilogy?
I think that comes down to like because they're the same game and like story doesn't matter, and that one's a tough because it's like all right, the remake plays so differently, like graphically and like how it was. Those are so different where I could see you keeping both.
Okay.
I personally am gonna sell my Crash 2 and 3 just because I heard like the Insane Trilogy like fixes like you can save after every level, you can like it's just a lot of like ease of life like changes kind of thing,
like modern touches on an old game.
Yeah, it's that to me is like I would keep them just for the differences, but like things like I got all right, so I was in Walmart, I found like Kingdom Hearts 2.5 remix, and I have Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, and
like I don't really care about the side games, but I'm like whatever, like it's a better version of the same game, or like the Jack and Daxter collection.
Yeah,
I sold the
but see, those ones I consider those a bit different. PS1, I guess, is a bit of a PS1 like N64 area. I think is a bit of a. But like the Jack and Daxter ones, yes, I had all the original Jack and Daxters. I got the PS3 collection. It's a matter of space.
Yeah.
Get rid of the 3. I have 1 disc with 3 games. Same with Ratchet and Clank. Same with Sly Cooper.
So the Mega Man, man. Think about how many games that covers in the collection. You have 14 games.
Yeah.
On 2 discs, as opposed to like all those cartridges that are worth a lot of money. You got a baby to feed, Josh.
Okay, but then the other side of it is like, what about like Zelda? Do we call it, because there's the Zelda Collector's Edition that has all 4 games.
I sold the shit out of my N64 copies and the NES copies. I sold them so fast.
But that's part of it. Like if I want to emulate it on the Retron 5 using the actual controller, because sometimes the GameCube controller isn't that great, as much as I love it.
Okay.
Playing the original NES.
Well, the way I would trade that off is the N64 controller. I personally think sucks. So I was all ready to like play Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask with a controller I can stand. But even so, on like a GameCube, like there are attachments you can get. Like I know it's like a lot of wires rolling around, but like you can get a GameCube adapter to Super Nintendo controller to like pop in and go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's workarounds. If you want to play on the real controller, I mean, it's all subjective. But to me, I was like, these carts are worth way too much money. Get them out of here. Like, I didn't want to mess with that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now because I have some of them, and I'm just the one I'm reluctant to sell the Zeldas just because I've become such a fan over this past year. But like I said, the Mega Mans I've got 3 and 5, and that 5 is expensive, and I have X and X2, which X2 is expensive.
Right. Nobody's made a Game Boy collection of those yet. I don't understand how they haven't. That's
the problem. So I mean, Mega Man the Legacy Collection is coming out, which again is another re-release of all the original games.
Well, it's 7 to 10, which they haven't done yet.
But I thought there's a second Legacy Collection coming out with like 7, 8, 9, 10 on it.
Yeah, that's the one, but I don't think it comes with the Game Boy like Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting for somebody to make that. I'm like, that's the thing I need. Put on Vita. Make it a good collection.
Yeah, we do need more Vita games, but that system's dead, unfortunately.
No, it's not. It's alive.
Not to me, though.
I thought it was.
Not to me.
I have 4 whole physical games. It's super alive.
You only have 4?
Uncharted, Freedom Wars, Army Corps of Hell, and Ragnarok Odyssey. And like 40,000 things downloaded because when I got it, it was like, you own all this already. Like, I still like just have.
Thanks. Yeah. Cool, man.
Word.
All right. Well, I think we should call it there. We're going on a little hour and a half here, so.
Oh boy, man, time is flying today.
Time flies.
Jesus.
So I want to say thanks again for coming on the show and being my very first guest.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that's exactly what. Well, actually, again, starstruck because like when I was watching before, I did like stuff, and I was just like, Josh wants to be on the podcast. So,
but now you're a bigger star than me, so I mean, it all
it's not
goes
a
around,
thing.
comes around.
No, I'm not. The sub count number on YouTube doesn't mean anything. Like,
you're more internet famous than me now.
Yeah, well, I spread myself out, so. Speaking of which, I did forget to mention, if you don't mind, I do another podcast with my buddy JD Emotionspiel, Josh Powercord. It's called the Red Leaf Retrocast. More podcasts I'm on. Stalk me. It's fun. So
cool. All right, we'll check that out for sure.
Yes.
All right, well, thanks everyone for listening to this podcast. If you have any hard games that you've beaten, be sure to leave me a comment somewhere, either on the video on YouTube or hit me up on Twitter, SoundCloud, whatever. Use the hashtag. Blah, blah, I can't speak now. Hashtag.
The hash browns.
Use the hashtag. NSS Pod. That's letter N, letter S, Pod. On Twitter, so I can find anything. If you have any questions or comments and stuff, I'd love to hear about them. I'm not on Google Play or iTunes yet because I'm not important enough. But maybe one day.
I don't know how you get on there. Like,
I think you have to apply. I don't know. If you have information, if someone has information, let me know.
You have to apply to be on iTunes to Apple, like whatever.
Exactly. So that's gonna do it for this podcast. Thanks very much for everyone to listening. Yeah, but that made no sense. Thank you everyone for listening.
I know where you're getting with that.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Kev, for being on the show. And I don't know when the next one will be. I don't have a schedule.
Being an adult.
Being an adult, exactly. If you have ideas for the show, let me know. Comments, use the hashtag again, and we'll take it into consideration. Or if you want to be on the podcast, also let me know.
I would like to be back on. Yes, please.
Back. Right. You're down on the encore list.
Yes. The fans crave
it. Well, we'll find out. Maybe they won't like you.
Damn it. That's not unusual.
That's not true. All right. I'm going to hang up now. Thanks for listening, everybody.